Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Soul Speak, the podcast for teens. I am your host, Emily Miller, Teen Intuitive. Okay, so the last couple of episodes have been all about money and busting these money myths and what is the actual source truth about money and how all of us are kind of in this like programmed state right now with money where we have been conditioned to believe that money is conditional. And there is actually a universal law that we are going to talk about today. And this is a spiritual, energetic, scientific law that is something that is really, really hard to argue with, to understand how that and how it proves that we are actually made to always feel abundant, whether it is with money, whether it is with love or friendships or confidence or whatever the thing is. Like, we are just always meant to be abundant. It is that, like, we have to be abundant. We don't have any other choice. The thing about it is with this law of abundance is that because of that conditioning that we have had since birth, basically, of the way that we are meant to see money and just things in the world. Like in science class, you're taught that there's a limited amount of fossil fuels, there is a limited amount of water, even though we live on a planet that is like, what is it, 80 something percent water. We're told that we are limited with all of these things. We are always put in spaces of competition, that there can only be one winner, there can only be one valedictorian, there can only be one this, one that. There's a limiting idea that's put on us to keep us from being in our unlimited power. So, this law of abundance, there is another scientific law. Albert Einstein, I think, is the one who created this or discovered it, that energy never leaves, it's never destroyed, it never goes away. Energy just changes form. So, how this goes into play with the law of abundance is that you are never at a loss of things, because remember, everything on this planet is made of energy, from a rock to money to you. Literally everything is made of energy. And so energy never leaves, it's never destroyed, it only changes form. So with the law of abundance, and we'll also bring in the 8 areas of life into play here. And there's a whole podcast episode about that a few episodes back. So if you haven't listened to that, listen to that one also. But with the law of abundance, energy is just changing form. So we are only in a state of perception, in a way that we are thinking, feeling, and believing about the world around us, that we are at a loss of something or experiencing a lack of something. So we are only thinking, feeling, and believing that we don't have something. And remember, with the law of focus, I'm literally throwing all the laws that we've talked about into this small little episode about abundance, because there's so many that come into play here. But whenever we are focusing on lack or loss, what are we going to get more of? Lack and loss. Because that's what we are putting in our creator field. That's what we're saying to the universe. Give us more lack and loss. Not intentionally, but that's how it works. So with the law of abundance, if you are looking for lack and you are looking for loss, intentionally or unintentionally, that's what you're going to get more of. And the truth of it is that there is actually whatever that thing is that you think you don't have, you do have it. It is source truth that you have to have it. You just may not be realizing it in the area of life that you are currently wanting to experience it in. So, if you think that you don't have a lot of money, that you are in a lack or a lost state with money, you actually have that money. It's just in a different form, it's in a different energetic form. So, what you will do is then have to look around in your other areas of life to see where you are holding that abundance, where you are holding all of that energy. And you just aren't seeing it in the money part. You're seeing it maybe in friendships. You've got a ton of friends, so it's in the social area. Maybe you have the most loving, caring family members, parents, grandparents, siblings, and you're finding all of your abundance of love there. Maybe you are like really smart and you are finding your abundance of knowledge, or you have a really cool connection with source or God and you're finding your abundance there. And so you're having it, and it's just sort of in these different areas of life, and you just aren't seeing it in the financial area of life. So that can kind of, that's how that law of focus comes into play, and the 8 areas of life with the law of abundance. So knowing that energy is never destroyed, it's only changing forms, you can find where that energy has moved to, which area of life is it in, and you'll be able to find it. Another thing that we want to think about too with the law of abundance is that let's change this to a different area of life, because I've been dealing with this a lot with my clients, and it is whenever you are, let's say you've lost something, okay? And that's something, it could be anything, but what we're going to go for here is that you have a loss of a pet, okay? You've lost a pet and they crossed over. They are no longer with us here in the physical world and they're gone. So, the first thing that you want to be able to do to try to bring that energy back into your awareness, because while that pet is gone, that doesn't mean that the things that they provided for you are also gone. So, think about, if that pet is gone, what did that pet bring you? What is something that they brought into your life? They brought comfort, they brought excitement, they brought cuteness and something to like look at and just think that they're so great. They're like a little entertainment, just all built into one. What else does a pet bring you? Snuggles, cuddles. Maybe they showed you unconditional love. There are so many different qualities that pet brings to you, and we'll call them attributes. These attributes that the pets bring into your life. And so if you've lost that pet, you haven't actually lost any of those things that they give to you, but that's what you're feeling because you no longer have that pet in your life. So the pet is gone. You think that all of those things that you got from that pet are also gone. But because energy is never destroyed, what happens is that it's going to change forms, and you will start getting comfort from other things. Other people will start showing you unconditional love. You will start finding entertainment and joy in other different areas of life. There's just the little missing piece there that a lot of people don't realize is that because it's shifting form, you have to then start looking for it in different areas of life so that you don't feel that lack and that loss. And whenever you start looking for those attributes, those qualities, those things that the pet brought you in other areas of life, you will instantly stop feeling the loss and you will start feeling the abundance of all of those attributes that that pet brought into your life. So that's kind of like the missing piece. Another part that I'll add onto this too is that whenever we lose something in our lives, whenever something leaves our existence, it's typically because we are ready for an upgrade. So that thing that we had in our life before, whether it's a pet or maybe you lost your boyfriend or girlfriend, they broke up with you. So they didn't die, but they're just not in your life anymore. And that boyfriend or girlfriend leaves because they have given your soul all of the lessons that it needs, and now you're like your soul self, your higher self, they're like, okay, this person gave us all the lessons that we needed. They taught us all the things that we needed to learn from them. And so now our soul is ready for an upgrade. We are ready to get more. We are ready to have more lessons. We're ready for more things to happen. And that person will then leave our lives. And we will be sometimes having brand new people show up in our lives, or sometimes we'll have people who we kind of forgot, because you know whenever you get a boyfriend or a girlfriend for a little while, like they become your world, they become your everything, and you kind of leave like your friends behind and you don't spend as much time with them because you're getting all the things that you need, all those attributes from this one person rather than from the old friend group that you have. And you'll still talk to them and they'll still be in your lives, but then that one boyfriend or girlfriend kind of becomes your everything. So let's say you've learned all the lessons that you needed to learn from that boyfriend or girlfriend and now they're gone. And what a lot of times happens is those old friends will start to come back in and start picking up all of the pieces that that boyfriend or girlfriend held for you. And so they come in and they start giving you the compliments that the boyfriend or girlfriend gave you. They start giving you the validation. They start giving you the love. They start giving you the time. They start giving you all of these things. So if one person leaves, then another person or group of people or people in all sorts of different areas will start to appear. And so anytime that you are feeling that lack or that loss of not having something, that boyfriend, that pet, that money, you have to start looking in different areas and seeing where it's going to now pop up. And as soon as you realize that those things, they're gone, but now you're getting new stuff. You're getting upgraded stuff. You're getting all sorts of new things coming in to take the place of those attributes. And another thing that we'll talk about too, which I brought up in the last episode, is that we don't actually want the thing that we think that we want. We want the feelings that that thing is going to give to us. So if you are in a state of feeling lack of money, let's say, what are some of the ways that money makes you feel? Well, what could you want the money for? I want the money to be able to buy new clothes. Well, what are those clothes going to then make you feel? What are you going to get by having these brand new clothes? Well, I get the clothes and then I get to look a certain way, and if I look a certain way, then these people will pay more attention to me, and I will maybe fit in more with my friend group, and I will get attention from everybody because I'll have on this new outfit, and everybody's going to come up to me and say, "Oh my God, Emily, where'd you get that? Did you go shopping?" And then I get all this attention from this new outfit. So, do we really want the new outfit? Do we really want the money? No, we want attention, validation, outside validation from other people. What else could money give you? Money can give you security. It can make you feel safe. If you have money, do you ever have to worry about your shelter? Do you ever like what where you're living, what keeping a roof over your head? Do you ever have to worry about food? Do you ever have to worry about transportation? Do you ever have to worry about things like that? Whenever you have money, no. So then that money is then going to give you security. And security is in safety is what we are really after, not the money. Think about like people who are wanting plastic surgery. They are not wanting fuller lips or a smaller nose or what else do people get? Higher cheekbones. I don't know. Whatever the things are, bigger boobs, bigger butt, whatever these things are, they aren't wanting those things because they actually want their physical body to appear that way. They are wanting these things because of something that those things are going to give them. So, lips are the words that we say. And so, whenever we're kind of thinking about what's driving the want, so it's the words that we say and how people perceive the words that we say. So, we might want fuller lips because we are feeling like people aren't hearing our words and our words aren't landing with them and people aren't understanding what we're saying. We don't feel like we have a lot of backing behind the words that we're saying. Or if you want, oh, here comes my dog. He always comes into podcasts with us. Um, and let's say you are wanting a smaller nose. Well, a bigger nose could make you feel more masculine. So you want to have a smaller nose to feel more feminine. And you want to feel more feminine because you want to feel more attractive, and you want to feel more attractive because you want to get more attention. So you see how there's like all these little steps that you have to kind of go through to get down to the root of why you are actually wanting something. And this is what I use my intuition for all the time, because I have people coming to me and they'll say, "Oh, I want to lose a little weight. I want to clear the acne on my face. I want to go to a new school. I want to I'm just trying to think about some of the things that I've been working with people with lately, but they'll say they want these things, but those things aren't the things that they actually want. They're wanting the feeling that those things will give them. And so you have to tap into your subconscious and you have to tap into your energy to figure out what are those things going to give you? What are those things actually going to provide for you if you get them? Because you can get all the money in the world. You can get a smaller nose, bigger lips. You can get brand new outfits. You can get a G-Wagon. You can get, all these things that you want to show that you are whatever the thing is that is causing the want for it, to show that you are all of those things. But you get them, and then what happens is the need for the validation is just going to become bigger because you haven't gotten to the root of why you feel like you need all of these things. And so anytime that you get something and you haven't gotten to the root of why you want it, it's not going to make you feel any better, feel any more feminine, or whatever the thing is, like with the nose job. It's not going to make you feel any more popular. It might for a second, like you'll get those instant gratification moments where you walk into school and you get all the compliments because you've got this new outfit on. But once they stopped complimenting you on the outfit, then you're just going to have a need to want to go shop and go buy more things. Or you're just going to want to then, move from having a little bit of lip filler to then wanting to, change the way your whole entire face looks, because you're still going to be seeking that feeling that you think that thing that you want is going to give you. So it's really amazing to use your intuition to dig in and figure out what those things actually are. So, going back to that law of abundance and seeing how things never actually leave you, they only change form, or that we aren't missing or in a lack state at any time ever. Getting to the root of what it is that you want is like the key to finding all of the areas where you actually have the thing that you want already. So realizing that is really, really cool, because then you're like, okay, you're never ever going to be in a state of lack, because you realize, okay, I already have all of these things. You're just not seeing them. You're not using the law of focus to find where you actually have them and how they can just be dispersed into different areas of life. And so that is what I do a lot of times, well, every time with my clients, is I find where they already have the thing. So they'll come to me, Emily, I want to what's the thing? I just lost my pet and I'm so sad. I'm so distraught. I don't know how to get out of this. Okay, well, let's find the things that the pet brought you. There'll be a certain number of them. There'll be, 4 or 5, let's say, attributes that this pet brought to you. And we use our intuition to find the exact number, to find those exact things that that animal brought to you. And then what I do is I'll find some tools, actionable steps that you'll take to be able to come back to the realization that you haven't lost any of those things. You've actually gained them. You actually have more. Your energy is upgrading and you're getting an upgrade in life to have even more, bigger, better, wonderful things to get you on to this like gorgeous path of having everything that you want. So it's just having a shift in perception from lack to abundance and realizing that those things aren't gone or they aren't missing. They're just somewhere else and we just have to find them. So that is a really cool realization to have. Nothing's gone, nothing's missing. It's just changed form, and it changed form so that you can get the upgrades. It's a really, really amazing thing. So remember that. Also, this is just a little something that whenever we have these moments of loss or these times of lack, it's a moment for you to have that like learning experience where you're like, okay, now it's my time. Now I can step up. Now I can step in and start finding where I have all of this abundance, because it is a law. It is a universal law that you are never in a state of lack. It's just a perception that just needs to be flipped, and then find it. Where is it? Where are all the things that I'm wanting, and how can I have them now? So think about that and maybe play around with the idea this week of like, okay, I feel like I don't have this. I feel like I don't have that. And I want something. What is the reason why I want it? And how can I see how I'm already getting those things in my life? Play around with that and see what comes up. And then be sure to subscribe to the podcast. Keep listening every week. Sign up for the newsletter for the free webinars that I will be holding with lots of fun tools, applicable steps that you guys can use to find your abundance, to learn how to protect your energy. We're going to do all sorts of fun things like that in the webinars. So make sure that you sign up for the newsletter and have a gorgeous, gorgeous week.